So this is our first lesson of financial maths, and we're going to be looking at simple interest. Before I even jump into anything in simple interest, is there anyone who has done financial maths in class already who thinks they can explain simple interest to us as a class? Who feels like they can? If you can, if you feel confident and you feel like you can explain it to us, pop that hand up and we can unmute you and you can talk to us. Okay, I see Pamela. Pamela, your hand was first. Can you explain simple interest to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're all listening.
Ma'am, interest rate is like never mind. I think I got it wrong. I was about to explain why it's higher purchase. Sorry.
Well, higher purchase is simple interest. Higher purchase is simple interest. So you weren't wrong. You gotta trust your gut.
Yes, ma'am. Like it's
Are you feeling the pressure? Do you want me to? Okay, I'll put the pressure on someone else. Okay, Mwande, can you help me out? What is simple interest? What's the difference between simple interest and compound interest?
So simple interest is when you, all right. It's, can I explain in a formula wise? So simple interest is no.
No, I don't want it in the form of a formula, just in terms of words.
All right. So simple interest is multiplied. No, it's the amount of money multiplied in a year. Right.
Okay. Yes, we're on a good track here.
And compound interest is how do I say it? Powered, or like, what is it? The word
cumulative. Yeah, no,
cumulative or exponentially.
That was really good. That was a very good explanation. Nice job, Mwande. Good work there. So basically what we're looking at is simple interest is we work out a percentage of our initial amount of money. So let's say I had 1,000 Rand and my interest was 10%, then that's 100 Rand. It's 100 Rand every year, forever, until I take that money out. Okay, that doesn't change. It's always going to be 100 Rand. Compound interest is interest on interest. So that first year, if I had 1,000 Rand and it was at 10%, my interest is 100 Rand. Then the next year, my interest is worked out on 1,100 Rand. And then the next year, so it gets more. So compound interest like adds on super, super quickly, whereas simple interest is an amount we work out on the beginning, and then that amount is just added on every year as our interest amount, if that makes sense. But we're going to talk about that now. 85% on your test. That's amazing. Nice job. Don't worry. We're going to talk about this definition of simple interest now. Don't you panic. So let's have a look at this. If we opened a bank account, okay, and we deposited 1,000 Rand. So that's what we were talking about now. So we're going to deposit 1,000 Rand. Deposit just means we're putting into the bank 1,000 Rand. Okay. And the bank is promising us a 5% interest rate every year on a linear or straight line or simple interest basis. So these are all different ways of saying simple interest. So linear, straight line, simple interest. And it's because the same amount is going to come each year. All right. If we worked out 5% of 1,000 Rand, what would that be? And how do we work that out? Let's get like our grade 7 brains back. How do we work out 5% of 1,000? Pop these answers in the chat, guys. Yeah, we multiply. That's all we got to do. Okay. We've got different options when we're dealing with percentage. So we could say 5 in our calculators. If we can't do this in our heads, we could say 5% of 1,000 and we would get 50. Okay. Or we could say 5 out of 100, because that's a percentage, times 1,000 equals 50. Or we could say 0.05 times 1,000 equals 50. All of those are different ways we could get to that same amount. Okay, so my interest in this case is 50 Rand. We would then add that to our 1,000 Rand that we had in our bank account, because interest is added on. And that is how much I would have in my account after year 1. Okay, so after year 1, I would have 1,050 Rand. Beautiful. Nice job, guys. Beautiful answers coming in the chat. Year 2, I'm going to do that same thing. So this 5% of 1,000, which was that 50 Rand, instead of now having it only happen once, which I had in year 1, I'm going to times it by 2 because now I'm dealing with 2 years. So that's why I'm going to deal with that times 2 over there. Okay. And so that's essentially saying, I'm saying 1,000 Rand plus 100 Rand. And that's why I get my 1,100 Rand. So my interest that I'm adding every year is 50 Rand. Every single year, I'm going to add 50 Rand interest. Doesn't matter how much money it accumulates in my accounts, the interest amount is always going to be the same. And that's the sort of fundamental thing about simple interest. Okay, so whatever that initial amount is, it stays the same. That's what it's going to be. All right. If we were wanting to do this over however many years, so we're wanting to do it in like n number of years, or we don't know the interest rate, or we don't know something, we get to use this beautiful formula. And I'm sure lots of you have seen it already in grade 8 or in grade 9. We have A is equal to P, and then in brackets, 1 plus I times N. Okay, there's some very important things here. This I, that's our interest amount. It has to be a percentage or a decimal or a fraction. Okay, so if we use the example above, either we would write in our calculator 5%, or we would write 0.05, or we would write 5 over 100. Okay, we would never just write 5. We would always write each one at the time. So let's go over what each of these letters. Yeah, don't panic. For those of you who want to take a screenshot, as soon as we've gone over the formula, I promise I'll go up so you can take a screenshot of the whole thing. Okay. So let's go through what all these different letters mean. So we're going to start with A. A is just our accumulated amount. So it's just like a way of saying it's our end amount. It's basically what you put into your account plus all the interest that has been added on. Okay, so it's your end amount. Then we've got P, which is our principal amount or our start amount. So if you deposit money, then that would be your P, because that's when it's going in from the beginning. 1 is just the number 1. Okay. I is going to be your interest rate. And that's when we need to be careful. And then N. Now in grade 11, N can start changing into some morphed territory. But for the moment, we're going to think of it as number of years. You can also think of it as time frame, because from grade 11, we have to start thinking about it as months. But for now, we can think of it as number of years. Okay, yeah, or annum, exactly. Okay, just going to zoom out a little bit. I was hoping you'd be able to get this whole thing in, because then it's like a nice sort of overall explanation of simple interest. And before we jump into the questions, I'd really like everyone to try and do this on the calculator, because if you can't get it right on your calculator, we're going to run into problems. So I want everyone to try sort of, I'm going to write a little equation up on the board. So A is going to be equal to, let's keep it as 1,000 Rand, 1 plus, let's keep it at 5%. And then let's say times 4. Okay, I'd like everyone to please try that on their calculator and let me know what answer you get so that I can make sure we're all on the same page. Hi, guys. Beautiful. Okay, we should all be getting 1,200 Rand. If you are not getting 1,200 Rand, please let me or Nelly know, because you are doing something wrong on your calculator. Good. Good, 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 good. Good. That's what I like to hear, Mwadu. Hello. How can we help?
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, long time no see.
Long time.
Ma'am, I was just going to ask if we're going to cover solving for n as an
Yes.
exponent in this
Oh,
lesson.
no, not as an exponent, because that would be compound interest.
Okay, so are we only doing simple
Only simple interest today.
thingy? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This, can I just say, financial maths is like one of the most useful things you learn in high school maths. I promise. Okay, so let's give this some try. When we do financial maths, as we get into grade 11, the questions get quite hectic, okay? And they're quite long. There's a lot of things going on. There's timelines involved. And so I like to think of something called a grocery list. And that's what's happening over here. This is our little grocery list, all right? As we read through the question, we try and figure out what each one of these is going to be. In time, we also have to figure out which formula I'm going to use. So is it simple interest, is it compound interest? We have to figure all of that out. But we know that in today's lesson, it's all simple interest. So that's not a factor we need to stress about right now. Okay, so let's kind of go through this question and figure it out step by step. Tatu loans 5,000 Rand from the bank. They offer her a 5% per annum. That's what that means, per annum. And per annum means per year. Okay, simple interest rate. How much will Tatu pay back after 3 years? So now what we want to do is we want to break down what these different things are. Always start with the easiest thing, okay? We can see that it is 3 years. So we know N is 3. Done. Beautiful. Tell me something else that's nice and easy here. Like something that jumps out at you. You're like, well, I know that. That's nice and easy. Interest, good. What is our interest? Good, 7%. Okay, so we know that I is 7%. I'm writing all of our options here because I know some teachers can be like very particular about how they want you to write it. So whichever way you write it is the way you must do it in class. Okay, then we've got beautiful 5,000 is our principal amount. That's the amount that was initially owed. And A is what we have to try and figure out. Okay, beautiful. Can you all give it a go? Pop it into your calculators. Give me your beautiful answers. Good, A is our final amount. That's what we're trying to figure out here. The beautiful thing about financial maths, guys, is once you've figured out your little grocery list there on the left-hand side, once you've put it into the correct formula, so literally just for what I've written over there in pink, you get multiple marks. So you would get like more than 1 mark for being able to distinguish what all the different things are, which is great. Nice. Awesome job, guys. We can pop it straight into our calculator like that. We need to remember we're dealing with money. So we mustn't forget that Rand, okay, because it's money. And we're wanting to add that interest on. We're working with our simple interest formula. Beautiful. Nice job. Tato is paying that back. All right, let's deal with these questions that I have up here. Okay, I'm just gonna unmute as I go along. Lou? So Nicole, some of your teachers will be super strict about that and will mark you off if you don't write the rands, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna move down this list. Oh, now I've got both unmuted. Hello?
Hi, did you unmute me?
Yes.
Oh, hi. I wanted to answer this question, but...
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, but you can answer the next one first, okay?
Oh, okay. Goodie.
Princess, how can I help?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, just a hypothetical question. What if someone not divides, like distributes the 5,000 into each number, like one by one, and then writes down the step?
So you can, you just need to be careful that this over here is one term because they're being multiplied together. So if you were doing distribution, let's just write this out over here. 1 plus 7% times 3. If you were doing distribution, we just go into those two. So it would be 5,000 plus 5,000 times 7% times 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
no problem.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Hello, how can I help?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I got a really funny answer.
Okay.
I don't get what I did wrong.
Okay. My first question to you is, do you have a percentage sign over here?
Yeah, no, ma'am, I do not.
That's probably where it went wrong.
Oh, okay, ma'am, let me check my answer. Let me redo it and then I'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Mm. Ma'am, do I log in the percentage in my calculator?
So you write shift and then you push the left bracket. Above it, you'll see there's a percentage sign.
And ma'am, should I divide the amount by 5,000?
No, you wanting to times it. So you want to put this exactly in like this. So you want to say 5,000 and then you want to have a bracket. 1 plus 7% times 3, close that bracket.
Oh, okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Okay, guys, I'm going to do one more question and then I know I wouldn't have got through everyone, but I will try and answer your questions in the next one. Okay. Shaden, how can I help? No,
Hi, ma'am, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Ma'am, I just wanted to ask, as we get through this simple interest, will there come a point where the marks will be more than one? Or will it say 1 mark?
No, for the moment, it'll say 1 until you start doing timelines.
Ooh, okay. I need to prepare myself for that one.
Yeah, prepare your brain for
enough.
timelines. Timelines can be hard. Okay, let's have a look at this next one. So have a look at the question. Start thinking about where you're wanting to like put your things in your grocery list. I'll try and keep this like this so you can sort of see more than one thing at a time. Please remember, you can write your questions in the chats. Nelly is a superstar and we'll find them and answer you. Just sort of break this down step by step. I will highlight the important things for the moment. And then, okay, so this guy. Those are like our important things. Timelines will pop up out of the blue, but not in today's lesson. All right, we have our volunteer ready to go. Hello? Hello, hello. There we go.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, talk us through this question. What's my
All
grocery
right.
list?
Sorry?
What am I going to put here in my grocery list? What's my A, P, I, and N?
Okay, so let's see how much was invested in account in 15 years. Okay, I'm not sure for the A, but for the I, which is our interest, is going to be 4%, 4.5% per annum.
Good, 4.5%, good.
Then we have 15 years, which is going to go to our N.
Good.
And the final amount is 10 Rand. Oh, 10,000. Okay, so our A is 10,125.
Good. And a
Rands.
P, we don't know.
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm just going to pop that into this formula over here, and then you can tell me what to do from there. So, ooh, good.
Okay.
0.5% times 15. Okay.
All right. So let's see. Oh, already got it. Okay, so we're gonna say 4.5 times 15. 4.5 times, let me see that. Wait, aren't we supposed to turn our 4.5% into a decimal?
You can. So you can write 4.5%, or you can write 4.5 over 100, or you could write 0.045. All of those are fine.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say 0.05 times 15, which is 0.675.
Okay. Can we add that one at the same time?
Okay, so it's gonna be 1.675.
Sorry, guys, my writing is getting so messy. 10125 is equal to P, 675. Nice. Okay, where do I go to from here?
And now we have to divide both sides by 1.675 to
Good.
leave P alone.
Okay, so what is P going to land up equaling?
P is going to end up equaling 6,044.78. Are we allowed to round off in these numbers?
So yeah, so always round off to 2 decimal places in money. So we're going to say 6,044 Rand and 78 cents is perfect.
Oh, I
Nice
see.
job. Always, so guys, just as like a little heads up for everyone, whenever we're dealing with money, you always want to round off to 2 decimal places. Always, 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 always. Okay. Another way of going about this, if you feel confident in manipulating your equations, okay, so from this point, you had 10125 is equal to, let me just move the screen a little bit so I've got a little bit more space. Okay, let's try and give ourselves a little bit of space. So this is for those of you who understand this work, you kind of want to stretch yourself a little bit and see if you can do it in a slightly quicker way, okay? Those of you who remember when you did literal equations, where you had to sort of find the subject of the formula and manipulate your equations a little bit, let's see what that would look like. So I've got A is equal to P, 1 plus IN, okay? P is what I'm looking for. So basically, I want to make that the subject. That's the thing I want to be alone. I can actually just divide A by everything in that bracket. So I can say A divided by 1 plus IN is equal to P. And then I can just sub everything into that equation that we already knew. So we can say 10125 over 1 plus 4.5% times 15 is equal to P. And then you can chuck it straight into your calculator like that, and you'll get the same answer. But it's up to you. Okay, cool. I'll screen like out a little bit so you can take a screenshot if you'd like. Yeah, no, Princess, absolutely. Like, you must do the way that you feel most comfortable with in financial maths. So for some people, they like to do it in small steps. They feel a bit more confident with that. And for some people, they like to organize their whole equation in the beginning and then just put it in, because then it's sort of less calculator work. So you're less likely to make a mistake. It's up to you. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about what we have done so far before we jump into some exercises? No, Princess. Okay, cool. Nice job, guys. Good. When you've got like a list of questions like this from Teacher Coco, does she normally give you them all at once, or how does she normally break up these questions? Maybe Nelly can help us out here.
Sometimes you give them like maybe 3 of them to do on their own, and
Okay.
then after they're done, they'll put in their favorite emoji in the chats, and then she'll go through the questions with everyone.
Okay, beautiful.
With the help of one of the students, yeah, sometimes.
Okay, let's try and zoom in these so that they're a little bit bigger then. And we can just do the first 3 questions. Okay. Cool. So we've got A, B, and C over here. Thanks, Princess. Read through the questions, give them a go. And then we can kind of work through them together as a class. Think very carefully about what you're looking for in each of the questions. And don't forget your formula. I'm just going to pop it over here again. A is equal to P, 1 plus I times N. And if you have questions, don't be scared to ask. You can ask them in the chat, or you can pop your hand up. Both are fine. You're all hard at work, furiously working. I love it. So, yeah, so the formula is always the formula, but the letter that we're looking for will be different. So if we have a look here, so in A, Joe's investing that money and we're wanting to figure out what the output is. So we want to find out the final amount. Whereas in B, Aubrey receives that after investing it. So we don't know what they have put in. So we'll know one letter, but we don't know the other one. Namaza, how did you think that I could forget you? Grace child. Yes. Hello. How can I help?
So in A, are we looking for A? In question number
Exactly.
A, are we looking for A?
In A, you're looking for A. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Ready and waiting to do A.
I am ready to answer, girl.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this where I think we're just going to work on the side. Okay. All right. I'm ready. Tell me what to do.
So I really loved the way like you sorted everything out. So like I sorted it as like AP, one of course, and then IN.
Good. I like it. Okay. So I'm just going to write it over here. So we're going to have A, oh goodness, APIN. Nice. What are they going to be?
A is unknown, so we'll just leave like a cute little question mark on her. And then
Okay.
P is equal to 500 Rand.
Okay.
I is going to be 8%.
Okay.
And N is going to be 3.
Beautiful. So what is that going to look like in my formula?
Simple interest.
Good. So A is going to be P1 plus IN. Nice.
Yes, ma'am. And then after that, we're going to substitute in our numbers, which is going to be A is equal to 500, open bracket, 1 plus 8% times 3, close bracket, which is going to give us the lovely answer of 620 Rand.
620 Rand. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at some of these answers. Oh, I thought it was 5,000, not 500. Yeah. Okay. So in this question, they haven't like explicitly asked what is the final amount. We had to do a little bit of sort of detective work here, but because we know that 500 Rand was invested, we know that it was for 3 years and for 8%, we know that they're trying to find the end amount. But don't worry, in your tests or exams, they will be explicit. They will say, find out how much Joe has after 3 years, or find out how much is in the account after 3 years. They will be explicit about that. Okay. Oh, the in, you can write I times N, but remember when two variables are next to each other, like if I have X, Y, or if I have 4X, that means 4 times X. So you can just write IN, same as I times N. Yes, you can absolutely try B. Do you want to write it in the chat or do you want to say it out loud? Just going to start writing a list over here. Okay. And let's get going. Can you please help me out with B?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I came late for the class, ma'am, but then can I please try the number B, ma'am?
Yeah, you're welcome to try B. So help me with these letters. What are my A, P, I, and N?
I know that the P is the amount that was given, I is the interest, and the N is the amount of years or months they gave us, ma'am.
Good. Okay, so have a look at the question. How many years was in the question?
We had 5 years, ma'am.
Good. Okay, so we know N is 5. What's my interest? What's I?
Ma'am?
Yep. So what is my interest rate? What's the percentage? Yeah, you've got some help happening in the chat for you. I think we may have lost connection there a little bit. Let's try and finish this one off. You guys can help me in the chat as we go. Isn't that cool? Okay. Yeah, or you could write 0.21. Beautiful. So that's our interest rate. Then we've got Aubrey receives 1,400 Rand after investing. So is that 1,400 Rand, is that going to be our A or is it going to be our P? That's the real question. It's going to be our A. Good. Because it's after investing. As in it's like our end amount. Okay. And P, we don't know. So we got the 21 because it said 21% per year. That's how we got that. Then we just pop it into our formula. So A is equal to P, 1 plus IN. So now our A is going to be 1,400. Our P, we don't know. 1 plus 21% times 5. Okay. I'm just going to show you with the working out here in case people did it this way. So we're going to say 1 plus 21% times 5, which is going to give us 2,25. Oh, I've written 25, not 21. 2,05, there we go. Okay, so 2,05, and then we can divide both of those by 2,05. Or remember, we could have rearranged our equation if we wanted to. And 1,400 divided by 2,05 gives us 600. Ooh, look what I've done. I've forgotten my rands, guys. 682 rand. Now let's be careful with our cents. What is my cents going to be? Let's see what some of these answers are. So the decimals are 9 to 6. So that 6 is going to change this 2 to a 3. So it's going to be 682,93. That's why it's going to be 93 cents. With the question about writing the formulas, as you get into the higher grades, you do get a mark for choosing the correct formula, but often in grade 10, they don't always just give you a mark for having the right formula. They'll give you a mark for putting things in the correct place in the correct formula. Okay. So we're just doing it step by step. Okay, but Mwande, it's better than having nothing in 5 years' time, if you think about it. Okay, let's have a look at C. I think we've already got our volunteer for C, so let's get going. What am I going to do for C? Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, are you going to talk us through C?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think we need to find I, interest.
Okay. So let's fill in our list. What do we have so far? So Baruti invests 37,800, 37,800. Oh my goodness, 37,800,000 rand. Oh no, I'm messing this up horrifically, guys. Okay, Baruti invests an amount of money. What is that going to be? Is that going to be our A or our P?
So our A is gonna be 45,900.
Beautiful.
P is 37,800.
Yes, beautiful.
So our I is missing, and our N, it's 5,5 or 5/1/2.
Good. 5.5 or 5. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to just pop this formula over here. A equals P1 plus IN. And I'm going to pop in the information that you've given me. And then I want you to tell me where I'm going to go to from there. Okay, where do I go to from here?
Okay, so I'm not sure how you should put it in the calculator. So is it gonna be I equals to 45,900 or?
Yeah, so we'd have to do a bit of manipulation. We'd have to move some things around. So depending on how comfortable you are with equations, I think the first easiest thing to do would be to move this 37,800. So if we move that guy there, then we're only dealing with part of it, if this makes sense. So we're going to have 45900 over 37800 is equal to, we can get rid of that bracket now, 1 plus I times 5.5. Does that make sense so far?
A bit.
A bit? Okay, you know what? Why don't we try this slightly differently then? Because sometimes when we put the numbers in, it can make everything look much more confusing. So let's start by just rearranging our formula. Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so I want you to help me rearrange this formula. I want I eventually to be alone. Okay, so how can I start rearranging this?
Okay, so I think I equals to
Oh no, I think we've lost you as well. I think load shedding is really breaking us, guys. Yeah, don't panic. I'll show you how we can do this now. Okay, we're trying to get I to be alone. I'm going to show you if we sort of do it first or if we put the numbers in. So don't panic. Let's first just look at this rearranging of this equation. First, I want to get P onto the other side. So I need to divide by P. Okay, so I'm going to have A over P is equal to 1 plus I times N. Then I want to move my 1 over. So I'm going to have A over P minus 1 is equal to I times N. Now, if I'm trying to get I to be alone, I need to divide all of that. So A over P minus 1, all of that I need to divide by N. And that's going to give me I. And then you can pop that straight into an equation. If you feel stressed by having such a big thing as a fraction, which is perfectly normal, you can also just put it in a bracket. So you could say A over P minus 1 divided by N is equal to I, if you find that easier. It's up to you. And then you can just pop in the values from your question. So 4, 5, 9, 0, 0 over 3, 7, 8, 0, 0 minus 1 divided by 5.5. And if you pop that into your calculator, let me know what you get for I. You should get around 3.9, I think. Yeah, you can absolutely do it with the values. I'll show you how to do it with the values now. Don't panic. I know the network is bad for lots of people. Please don't stress. Load shedding is kicking our butts tonight. So you should get an answer of 0,0389 on. And we just want to get it to be a percentage. So we want to times it by 100. So we would say 3. So let me write the next number after that. 9 is a 6. So I would write 3.9% is equal to I. I'm just going to show you how to do this with the values. I'm just going to do it under here so that those who are still wanting to work on the questions and who are understanding this, you can carry on with D. That's that question over there. Okay. But for those of you who are wanting to see the way to do it with values, I'll do that for you now. So if you got 4%, depending on how the question has been worded, if it says to 2 decimal places, they would mark you wrong. But if they don't specify the decimal places, then 4% would be fine. Keegan, don't leave it as a fraction though. Definitely make it a percentage for your final answer. Okay, so let's try and do this with values. So I'm going to do 45900 is equal to 37800 plus I, which we don't know, times 5.5. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide by this 37800. So we're going to say 45900 divided by 37800. Okay, now some people like to work that value out, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to work that out for you here because fractions panic some people. That's normal. So we're going to have 17 over 14 is equal to 1 plus I times 5 comma 5. So our next step is we want to move that 1 over. Okay, so we want to have 17 over 14 minus 1 is equal to I times 5 comma 5. So we're going to minus 1, and that's going to give us 3 over 14 is equal to I times 5 comma 5. And then for our final step, we just need to divide by that 5 comma 5. And that's going to give us our I. And then again, that will give you 0,03896. And so we can say I is equal to 3,9%. Okay. And if you're panicking, don't worry, finding I is always the hardest. So don't stress. It's normal to find it a little bit tricky. Okay, so the answer for A was in pink, the answer for B was in purple, and the answer for C was in blue. Yeah, they can be hard, they are. Try and give D a try. So for D, you're looking for N. You're looking for the time frame for D. So when we have a decimal, when we go from a decimal to a percentage, all we have to do is multiply it by 100. So at this point over here, we just multiply it by 100, and then that gives us the percentage. Oh, sorry, Faith.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, to find I used a different method. So
Okay.
like I made I the subject of the formula.
Yeah.
And then I calculated the bracket and put I on one side and got the answer for the bracket. So I got 37,800, and I multiplied it by 1 and multiplied it by 5,5. And then I took all those values, and then I made I subject of the formulas and changed and exchanged, put the values on the other side. So I got 207,900 plus 37,800 subtract from 45,900. And then I got I is still a complete value. So
So
I
I
was
think
wondering
you can do it that way. You can do your distribution that way. I'm worried you distributed too many times. So I'm just gonna show you with the values over here. Okay, so you've got the 45900. Okay, sorry. And then the 378,001 plus I times 5.5. Okay, so if you did the distribution way, you would have, this would stay the same. And then this would be 37800 because times 1 it's itself. And then this would be 37800 times 5.5. So 207,900 I.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then did you move this one over?
Yes, ma'am, I moved it over.
Okay, that's right. So far, all good. I'm happy so far. 207,900 I. Okay. So 45900 minus 37800. So we get 8100 is equal to 207,900 I. Are we there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what did you do? What did you do at this last step?
I I divided by 207900, I think, or maybe I miscalculated.
I think that's where it went wrong, because if you divide by that, then you should get the right number.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. No, it's good to talk through these things.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't panic about asking questions, guys. That's the whole point of these lessons, is to learn more and to ask questions more. Do you need to simplify the fraction, or can we use it like that? So your final answer always needs to be a percentage if you're looking for I. So that's the answer for those.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to quickly do D on the board because I just had a look at the time and we are drastically running out of time. I did not realize how quickly our time disappeared. So I'm just going to quickly pop D up on the board for those of you who are wanting to work through it or have worked through it already. So I'm just going to do our little grocery list over here. Okay, Dominic invests 5,410 Rand. So if that's an investment, then that's our P value. Receives 7,720 Rand. So that's our A value. It was a 6.2% interest rate, and our N value we don't know. Okay, so if we pop that into our formula, 7720 is equal to 5410. And then we're going to have 1 plus 6.2% times N. Yeah, they can ask you to find any of these variables in an exam. So we're going to do it a very similar way to the way that we just did I. So this is good practice. You're first going to want to divide by that P value. Okay, so that gives us this 1 plus 6.2% times N. Then we're going to move that 1 over. And remember, you can simplify this fraction in your calculator as you go if you're wanting to. And then our last step is we're just going to divide by that 6.2%. So we're going to say 7720 over 5410 minus 1. And we're going to divide all of that by 6.2%. And that is going to give us N. And then the fun thing with financial maths is once you've done all the hard work, you can literally just pop it into your calculator and it gives you your glorious answer, which is just so much fun. But minus 1 divided by 6.2%. And we get N is equal to 6.89 years. So if they wanted you to round it off to a whole year, we would say it would have to take them 7 years because they would need 7 years in order to get to that amount. If it needed whole years, they wouldn't get to the amount in 6. We didn't get to go through all the questions, but we got through a few. I hope that it was able to clear up a few things for some of you when it comes to financial maths.